All right, so now it's recording. Thank you guys for joining. First off, we're going to start with a brief introduction of the Bitcoin Association. So we've been around since the early parts of 2014, and some of our earliest members included BitMEX's Arthur Hayes, to some of the folks from Kinetic like Jihan Chu, to OSL, and some other notable early members and OGs here are Leo, as well as some of the other folks that you might recognize over here. But the association has mostly been hosting offline events to try and engage with the community and driving adoption and just introducing Bitcoin to the community. We've started with smaller crowds to anything to a few hundred, to even helping with grand openings such as the one here at Genesis Block. And we've hosted larger conferences where we've had hundreds of people actually join from all over the world, and even having our own merchandise that's being sold. So because we're a nonprofit and non-government organization where we're 100% run by volunteers that are interested in cryptocurrency, we're all individuals just uniting together. But with the whole coronavirus situation, we've actually started moving most of this meetups online to try and minimize the spread of any of this potential virus. So this was the last physical meetup we had just before, before Chinese New Year. And then we're starting to have our first offline meetup again in June. So hopefully we can have both online and offline again in the future. But today, we're actually very lucky to be at Genesis Block again. Genesis Block has a very personal connection to me because a couple years ago, I knew nothing about cryptocurrency, but this is a place where they managed to engage and teach me about how to buy my first Bitcoin, or let's say Satoshis, because one Bitcoin is still worth a lot of money, and I always start off with just buying a few Satoshis to start. But again, thank you, Genesis Block, for the people that are here in this room that's able to help lend the space. We're also going to maybe give a brief introduction of Genesis Block because we have John, who's the head of marketing over here. So John, do you want to quickly introduce Genesis Block?
Sure, yeah. So we are Hong Kong's premier OTC trade center. You know, our pillars are basically making Bitcoin accessible to as many people as possible and educating and growing the community. So if anyone's ever in Wanchai, feel free to drop by, and you know, we're always happy to have a chat about Bitcoin or cryptos.
Great, thank you, John. All right, so we have a very special guest tonight. These two gentlemen I met, I think, 2017 or 18 in Hong Kong at a conference called Blockchain Marvels. I was like, heard of these guys before, but where? So this is Coinbros. We have two of the founders here. We have Towie, who's the guy that's on the Ledger Gang shirt. We have Coinbros. Towie, Jesse, do you guys want to give a brief introduction of yourselves?
Sure. What's up, guys? What up? We are the Coinbros. I'm Towie. This is Jesse. We are the CryptoRapGods, best in the game, baby.
What's going on,
we are stoked to be here with you guys, man. We're coming all the way from Las Vegas.
Up early in the morning, ready to hang out and talk crypto, baby.
We are the hip-hop voice of crypto for you guys.
Thank you. Well, first off, I just want to share a little bit more context. So right now in Hong Kong, it's 7:30 p.m. I actually thought you guys were more on the East Coast area, so it's only going to be about a 12-hour time difference. But then I realized that right now it's 4:30 in the morning. So, you know, I just want to start off and just applaud you guys and thank you guys so much for either staying up really late or just waking up really early. So,
no, we're
kudos
good.
to you guys. Thank you so much.
Our pleasure, man. It's 4:30 in the morning here, but you know what we did is we both have two kids, and he's so a little context too is we're actual brothers, right? He's married to my sister, so which actually makes us brothers. So that's the Coinbros.
Yeah.
So we have two kids. He has two girls. I have two boys, and we were gonna do the meeting at our house. And it's like 4 in the morning, and I called him. I was like, bro, we need to go to the studio because we have our own studio out here. We drove down, and we're like, we're going to be way too loud and wake the whole entire house up. So we drove down to our studio, and we're just getting the early start of the day, man. We're stoked to be here.
Yep.
Man, I mean, once I saw you guys coming in, you've got that really sick background and behind you, and you've got all these shirts going on. I mean, I haven't talked to you guys for, since the year when you guys were last in Hong Kong. Tell us more about what's going on over here with the new developments that you have.
So this is Velas. This is Virtual Expanding Learning Autonomous System. It's an actual token that we're a part of. And the shirts we have, it's Velas and Coinbros. We actually have a song we did for Velas. It's called Velas, and it's coming out pretty soon. And it's like it's a really high budget video, probably by far the highest budget video you've ever seen in crypto.
Guys. One of the craziest things, man. We're in the Caymans. We got whales and pools. We got a bunch of stuff, man.
Yeah. So we actually were flown out to the Cayman Islands to do they actually hired us to do a music video for their company, right? And we hit it off so well with them. And Alex Alexandrov, who's the founder, he's also the founder of Coin Payments. I'm not sure if you're familiar with Coin Payments, but they're a major player in the game. And it's their token, and we became a part of the team. We're brand ambassadors now, and we're just stoked to be a part of the team. And we have a really cool track coming out with them here pretty soon.
Yeah.
And I'm sure later on we'll touch a little more on what Velas is exactly, but they're basically an artificial intuition driven blockchain. It's some cutting edge stuff, and there's some big things coming out.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, I'm still trying to get my head around a whale. You guys are swimming with whales.
Well, dude, we flew out to Cayman Islands and actually hired. We did it with a group called Hypercube, and they do some of the most high budget explainer videos in the crypto scene, and they do motion graphics and stuff. And they actually hired us to go out and film with Velas, and they didn't pull any punches, man. We went all out. We shot the entire thing on at Alex's mansion out there. There's we did CGI whales in the pool. We got just insane stuff coming out, man. You'll see soon. I don't want to spoil it because it's gonna be crazy.
All right, so right now we're talking a lot more about the present and the future, but for some of the folks that are joining us today might not really know about the context, the background of who you guys actually are. I mean, I've had the privilege of viewing your videos on YouTube when you guys were like BTFD by the fucking dip, and you're all over social media with John McAfee and stuff. And I'm sure that there's a story even before your BTFD video. Maybe we can start with a big rewind all the way back to just understand who are you guys? You guys are in Vegas. You guys are rappers. I've heard your music, but I'm not sure about Jason and Tony over here, but they've heard your music as well. Who are you guys and where'd you guys come from?
Okay, you want to start?
Yeah. Well, so the way we started with crypto and stuff was in towards the beginning of 2017, before all the crazy hype happened. His brother, who was in Costa Rica, found out about it out there, and he started working for this project. So he was telling us hey guys, let's sing crypto, Bitcoin. Have you heard of it? Blah blah. So we kind of went down the rabbit hole, and then after that, he was like, why don't you guys start a YouTube channel of some sort, So we kind of started dabbling with making videos or whatever. And then he was like, hey dude, you do music. Why don't we start making, music videos and stuff? So, we came out with BTFD a little bit after the hype. And then after that, it just, it kind of went crazy. Yeah. We had John McAfee hit us up. You want to tell them a story about John?
Yeah. So even going further behind that, I've been doing music for a solid 10 years before I even got into the whole crypto rap thing. So I was in a group called Split Breed, and I toured nationally. We played all over the world, and I've done things like Warped Tour, and just we were a hip hop electronic group. It was me, my brother Kalani, and my DJ, who's actually one of the producers for Coinbros. He's pretty much our main producer for the beats. He's from my old group too. So we, I've been doing music for so long, and when I got involved in crypto in 2017, my brother, who got us into it, he was like, hey, why don't you guys use your talents and what you're good at, and try to see what you can do in the crypto scene. So I was like, all right, cool, man. And then, me and Jesse were together, and I said, why don't we try to let's come up with something kind of catchy, And that's when we came up with BTFD. We made the song, and we were just goofing around. We shot the whole video on just iPhones. Yeah. We were just let's just put this together, made the video. And then, so what happened was I did a line in the song where I say John McAfee's all on my Twitter. And this is at a time when John McAfee in 2017 is
Coin of the day.
Coin of the day. Everyone's listening to what he has to say. It's crazy. And I just write him a private DM, and I'm like, hey man, I put you in our song, not thinking he'll ever read it or anything, And then we wake up the next morning, and he's blasting it on his Twitter, nonstop. And he must have shared it 20 times. And we have 100,000 views in a day, and we're like, holy crap, this is nuts. And we weren't expecting that, So he really gave us this big catapult right from the beginning.
Yeah, that was the beginning of our channel. So.
And we're like, gee, we started getting this traction, right? And we're thinking hey, people actually like this, because in the crypto scene, it's a lot of numbers and it's a lot of trading and this and that, and there's not really there's
Fun
an,
aspect.
yeah, there's an entertainment aspect, but we're trying to bring something to the table that's a little more original. We're not trying to do just parody raps. Like everything we do is 100% original. We make our own beats, we write our own lyrics. It's songs from scratch. We want to make music that like somebody that's not even into crypto would want to listen to it and then learn about crypto. We want to try to like educate through the music, and we want to put out music that people that are just music fans would listen to, and people that are in the crypto scene will say, wait, these guys know what the hell they're talking about, you know, and they're doing it right. So that's kind of our goal.
So with you guys trying to reach the masses and trying to figure out how to use music as a medium, music is a way that you can just speak with almost anybody, anywhere by touching somebody's soul. All the music you have is in English, but at the same time, once you got a beat, you can have something like Despacito and it just goes viral.
Yeah.
So the question that I have for you guys is, in the time that we have now, we've been trying to understand more about what you're doing now in your origins, but what about a beat? Do you have like something that's running through your mind so we can kind of get into the groove of how you guys come with your creation process? Or?
So it's funny you say that because I heard you talking about getting into like, what's a sat? What's a sat? You were saying that earlier in your introduction, right? We actually just made a song a few days ago called Stacking Sats. It's our newest song, and it's basically the premise is we're hanging out with Satoshi, and you know, he's a person here with us in the studio, and we actually finished. I can play it for you a little bit if you want to hear it.
Yeah, I think we'll be really excited to.
I'm gonna play a little bit. We'll play like a minute of it, but you guys can hear what it is. So this is basically. Tell me, can you hear that?
You guys hear it?
We're in our music studio right now, so we have our speakers and everything.
See if you guys can hear it.
Unreleased, bro. This is the first unreleased music.
Stacking, 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 stacking. Stacking, 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 stacking. Stacking, 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 stacking. You want that smoke, send the addy. Satoshi got my back.
I started this crypto shit. This the motherfucking banks I get. I started this crypto shit. This the motherfucking banks I get.
Hey,
It doesn't catch it.
he told me things get lonely at the top cause no one knows me. And when that transaction that you send is moving slowly, the only confirmation is he's drinking with the broskies, and you know we gon' be stacking, 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 stacking. Stacking, 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 stacking. Stacking, 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 stacking. You want that smoke, send the addy. Satoshi got my back.
Hey, all I do is stack. Toshi took the blunt, took his ass a half a day to send it back. He told me he wanted us to teach him how to rap. He was pumped, took a dump, then he crashed. Damn.
Stacking, 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 stacking.
That new release, that new.
Stacking, 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 stacking.
So that's the base of it. It's not even finished yet. Like we haven't done ad libs or anything, but that's just so you guys can hear something. That's
And when you guys were here in Hong Kong, you guys were just chilling out in the hotel room, and all of a sudden, one of you would just be like playing some beat randomly, and you just get into your groove. And this is all natural with the flow of how you count with your song creation process to the creativity of just being aware of your surrounding. What goes through your mind when you got to put all these complex music together, or
Dude, you're making it sound way more complicated than it is, man. We're just we just get in there and just vibe,
Just do it, man. Yeah. Sometimes it takes a little bit longer. Sometimes it's like, you know, in like 15 minutes we can whip something out. So
yeah,
it just depends on the vibe and how we're feeling that day. You know, it's just being creatives. So
yeah, I mean, I've made in my lifetime, dude, I've probably made 1,000 songs because I've been doing music for so long, you know, especially with hip hop too. You know, we're so surrounded by it, you know, and it's just one of those things. It's like anything, you know. It's the 10,000 hour rule. I've probably got 30,000 hours in the studio, you know. And so I mean, it's fun too, you know. And the beauty of it is what we do is we don't care. There's nothing behind it, right? We're just talking about something we love. We're passionate about crypto.
Yeah.
We're just having fun with it. We're not trying to be the coolest guys in the world. We're just trying to educate people, have fun with it, and it's kind of nice, you know, because I've been in the music industry where there's a lot that goes with it, right? You have to worry about your image. You got to worry about this. You got to worry about that. Dude, everybody in the crypto scene is like,
we have more positive feedback than we do negative, for sure.
Well, put it this way, just to give you some statistics, like when I used to do music with my other group, which I still do, but like on YouTube, for instance, if you do a song that gets 1 million plays, you're gonna get about 20% negative comments in the comment feed if you read it. In crypto, when we put out music, dude, it is rare to get 1 or 2 hateful comments, and usually they're pretty funny, so we just give them a thumbs up.
Yeah.
But you know, it's usually, like everybody's cool, man. Everybody's on the same team in the crypto space. We all talk a lot of trash and joke around, but like everybody's in this together, right? The base movement of crypto, everybody's in it together. It's like one big family. So we get like so much love from everybody. You know, even like you guys inviting us to come on shows like this, like it's cool. You know, we
Just here to push forward, man.
We're trying to do what we can do to try to get crypto out to everybody. You know what I mean? That's all we're trying to do.
You know, thank you for just being so positive and just trusting in the community that everybody's in this together. And there's been a lot of backlash and negativity in 2018 when Bitcoin prices dropped, and even now when Bitcoin halving is not really causing a big pump in prices. But the fact that everybody is trying to just elevate everybody in this industry is just really inspiring. I want to digress a little bit and actually talk about something that I just learned today. It was funny because one of my friends, he's single, and then he dragged me into this conference and says, you know, this is the best training ever where you're going to be able to pick up people, and it's really good for your sales training as well, because I'm in sales for my day job. And then he says, you know, there are 5 things that you can do to really build this online presence. And whilst I was just listening to you guys, this 5 things just kept on going to my mind. I just want to share it with you. I hope that by sharing this could also be useful. But they did an online research to say, for something who's really attractive, what are some of the things that they continue to do, whether it's on Instagram or Twitter or even Tinder? And they said, if you have a profile, it's actually look at the eyes. The eyes are some of the things that really enable somebody to connect with the other person. The second one is that trying to find something that you can connect with, whether it's through a passion or a pain or value or vision. So that with all your songs, they've really connected with me, because, you know, when you're talking about, hey, John McAfee, all I see on him in Twitter is just what he's posting. Sometimes it's very interesting. Sometimes it's extraordinary in its context, but it does catch people's attention. And out of the other 5 points out there, there's 2 that I talked about. The third one is competence. So when it comes to competence, for example, you can turn something that is very basic, like you have a beat, you can turn into a sentence. But I'm keen to see how the evolution of you guys are going to be in connecting to even more people, because the circle of influence, when you guys came to Hong Kong, you guys didn't really know anybody, but then all of a sudden I'm like, hey, have you heard these guys called Coinbros? And everybody just started reaching out to me on Telegram. I was like, hey, these guys in Coinbros, have you met them yet? They're in Hong Kong. They've got awesome music. Who do you think we can connect them to try and just get them empowered? Because they want to make a presence. They want to use music to just reach out to people in a very positive way. So that links up to the 5th point, which is can you contribute? And I feel that because you've got these 5 elements, it makes you guys really desirable and really interesting, that everybody everywhere is just like, I want to figure out how I can maybe help Coinbros. So that song that you guys just came up with, which is like the stacking, it's kind of a very catchy beat. You connected with me, but then how do you connect with even more people that might not be in this space? So that was a very random piece that I just learned today, so it's not very as articulate as what I wanted it to be. But we talked about your origins of how you're so connected with John McAfee. We talked about the present moment of how you guys are working on an exciting project. But let's say with something a little bit more serious in terms of, we know that the coronavirus situation is really impacting people globally. We know that the way that people are working is going to be forever changed. You guys are almost 2 examples where you're turning your passion through music into an actual career, whether it evolves into additional crypto projects or you get additional YouTube subscribers or even royalties. What are some of the things that you can share in terms of your journey on how you were able to become who you guys are now, that somebody that could be going through a rough patch and say, you know, I've got something to give as well. I might not have as much experience as you guys with more than 10,000 hours, 1,000 songs that you've tried, but what are some things that you might be able to share?
Okay, well, first off, I have 30,000 hours because I sucked when I first started. So like, some people it takes a little longer to get better. So if you're out there and you're trying to do something, man, I think first and foremost, just start doing it, right?
Yeah.
Like if you have something you think you can bring to the table, you might get lucky and get a McAfee to share your video, and you probably will if you're passionate about it and you have something, you know, unique to put out there into the universe, man. Like things just usually happen if you put one foot in front of the other, right?
Yeah.
If you just get out there and do it.
I think action is key, man. Like just talking about it and prepping for it isn't going to do anything until you actually start doing it.
Yeah.
You know.
And everyone sucks at first at everything,
Hell yeah.
dude. Like you can't be good at things at first. You gotta suck to get good.
I mean,
right?
if you would have seen some of the first videos we were doing on YouTube when we were first starting and didn't know which direction we were going to go with our channel, you would have been like, what are these guys even talking about? You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
But that's how it started, you know? We didn't know anything and we hopped in and we just started doing stuff and we just got lucky on the first one. But I mean,
and another thing too is, man, like in this day, like you said, with the whole coronavirus, the world's kind of changed forever, but we're in the best possible time in history for this to be happening, to connect with people. I mean, you have the internet, you have Zoom like we're doing right now. You can literally connect to millions and millions of people in the easiest way possible, free. You can upload your things on different platforms. Speaking of which, Bellows will be coming out with some pretty cool platforms for decentralized YouTubes and things like that.
Since YouTube sucks now.
Well, since they're censoring people and stuff, but there's so many outlets for people to like get their art out and their passion out, you know. And it's accessible now, you know. I come from an era, you know, not to give away my age too much, but I'm not that young, man. I remember a time when you had to push CDs out of the trunk, you know, and you had to go and walk up to girls at the mall to try to get their number. Yep. You couldn't just swipe to the right. You had to actually get embarrassed and have them say no to you. You know, I remember I've been through that. You know, man.
Kids don't know what that is.
Yeah, you kids out there don't know what that is, man. It builds character to get rejected.
Yeah.
So you know, it's one of those things where we're actually lucky, man. Like imagine if this happened in 1995. You know, it would be rough. But then again, maybe it wouldn't be so widespread, right, without all the social media. So who knows? But what I'm saying is, dude, just get out there and do it. You know, if you're passionate about something, it always catches on. People see the passion when you're doing something for the right reasons. Yeah. People always can see.
It doesn't matter what it is, man. If you think you have something to contribute, just do it. And then whoever is gonna take whatever you're making, they're gonna take that for what it is, and that's what they want. You know what I mean? So
like doing the music and what we've done so far in crypto has gotten us to, we've landed, you know, we've gone places like Hong Kong, met guys like you. We've gone, you know, we've been flown around. We've done conferences. We've done crazy things that, you know, most people don't get to do, all because we just kind of followed a passion and just put stuff out, you know, and things catches and then good things happen, right? You take chances, you kind of just go with the flow. You can't be scared to say yes to things. It's real easy to say no to things. It's hard to say yes to everything. And we pretty much, we say yes a lot, man. I think it seems to work out in our favor. You know, now we're with like an amazing company in Bellas, and, you know, like life is good, man. We're stoked. But yeah, just get out there and do it. You know, don't be scared, bro. Don't be scared, bro. Get out there and do it.
So I hear that just as it. So the gist is, you know, if you just try something, you don't know whether you're going to be good at it or not. You're probably going to suck the first couple times, but eventually, if you
that's
still,
one thing that's guaranteed. You will suck. Trust me, you will suck at the first thing you try. It takes a while. It takes time. Yeah.
Yeah, go. But then, as long as you keep trying, then you're eventually going to get better, and then something's going to stick and it's going to keep going.
You can always suck. Okay. You can always suck, but
hey, but better people may like you for that, though, right? People may like you because you suck.
Some people say our stuff sucks, and it still looks good.
Yeah, they still bump it, so it don't matter.
Nah, but yeah.
Okay, but it's a fact. The fact is, your stuff does not suck. I mean, I've listened to your songs a lot.
Thanks, man. We appreciate you, man. Like we met, like when we went out to Hong Kong, you were super cool. We hung out. You know, Leo, everybody, man. You guys all treated us so well. I can't wait till we can go back out to Hong Kong. We love it out there. That was one of the funnest places we've been. You know?
Yeah, that was fun.
You guys took good care of us. And I mean, hopefully, dude. Hopefully, we get to come out there and perform. And well, like with Velas, the company we're with now, we were actually planning on doing like an Asian tour right before this whole thing happened.
China,
we were going to go through China, do a bunch of performances at conferences. We were going to we had all of this stuff planned out, and hopefully, we will still be able to do it here in the next year or so. But now we had some pretty cool things planned, but got to pivot, right? Sometimes you got to pivot in life, and you got to figure out how to make things work another way, and that's what we're going to do. We're going to do a lot more things online.
You're going to be catching the Coinbros VR concert.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, even with this, right? So we kind of had this up at the last minute, and we started having people join in. Who knows, when we upload this on a social media, somebody might watch this, and then they might say, hey, what can they do to join Coinbros or to even help you guys out? If you were able to ask something from the audience, or even be able to find somebody as an ideal partner, what can that be?
I'm sorry, what was the question again?
The question is, right now there could be somebody listening to you guys, whether it's right now or when they play back this video in the future. If you guys can ask for anything to try and help elevate you guys to the next level, whether it be the right partner or whether it's the next opportunity, is there something at the top of your mind that you think of that is something that you can ask for that maybe somebody could be listening to?
Dude, I don't know about so much ask for anything, but just reach out to us. You know, like we respond. You know, like when people reach out to us, we respond to everybody. We're always down to collaborate with people if it makes sense. And you know, and just hit us up on Twitter, on Facebook, on YouTube. Man, we're just trying to work, man. We're just trying to take.
All we ask is for you guys to spread the music. You know what I mean? To let people know about crypto. That's it. We're just spreading the word of Satoshi.
And send us 1 Bitcoin each. I'm just nah, man, we're just
maybe more, right?
We just like to work, man. If you're in the space and you have something to offer and we can work together and make sense, dude, we're always down to elevate crypto. Like we literally live cryptocurrency. This is our full-time job. We work with Velas full-time. We're Coinbros full-time. We like all of my money is pretty much 95% in cryptocurrency. So I like the only cash I have is when my girlfriend's like, go get some damn cash out of the bag. What the hell are you doing with all this fake money? Give me some cash. So then I gotta cash it out. But other than that, it hurts. Every time I gotta cash out some Bitcoin, it hurts.
Especially on the dip.
It's like stabbing me in the chest. I'm like, I don't want to do that. But like, so we live this, dude. Like we are 100% cryptocurrency advocates, and we live it. We don't just talk it. Yeah. So all that stuff you hear in those songs, man,
that's true.
That's the truth, bro. We live it. When the market's dipping, we're dipping. When it's going up, we are stoked. Yeah, we're jumping around. Yeah, man.
So if you guys are so heavily invested into Bitcoin and other cryptocurrency assets as well, what would your advice be to try and weather this huge storm in terms of the volatility of Bitcoin, for example?
To weather the storm of like big dips and
yeah, because like let's say Bitcoin is so volatile, and you guys are 95% in Bitcoin and other currencies right now. How would you?
You gotta grow some thick skin, man. That's it. There's nothing else to do. Like we can't control the market, so if you can't handle some 10-20% drops,
we kind of like it, man. We're kind of sick. We like those little like ups and downs. We get a rush off of it, but
we're like, ooh, Bitcoin's dumping, guys.
You know, we can buy some more. You can get some more at a cheap price. Yeah, we're fully engulfed. But I mean, you got to be a certain type of person, right, to be as into it as we are. You have to be. We believe in it. You know what I mean? Like we've believed in it for years and years. We know what's coming, and we know what this represents, what the cryptocurrency movement represents. And we 100% believe in it. So I don't really care when it dips down to 5,000 and we buy more. We're happy. If
I mean, in my book, I'm up whether it dips now or goes up now. You know what I mean? Like when we started, it was lower. So at anything from this point on, let's keep it going, man. I don't care if it goes up or down.
Yeah, it's not even so much about price with us, you know. Like price is gonna go up. There's no way that Bitcoin's gonna not become a major player in the world.
It already is.
Yeah, it's already getting there, and people. It's crazy. My barber was cutting my hair after like 3 months because of the lockdown. I was like talking to him, and he's like, "How do I get Bitcoin? What do I do?" You know, and it's my barber. Like he doesn't even understand what it is, but he's asking me how do I buy this? And I'm thinking in my head, like, you know, when people's grandmas are asking you and stuff, what is Bitcoin? Everybody's talking about it, and you know the world we live in now. It's social media era when things start getting rolling, just like in 2017 with that crazy spike up. The whole world starts talking about things, and then it's a real quick when things catch fire.
Oh yeah.
And now that it's the stigma of Bitcoin and crypto is kind of out the window of it being this scammy nonsense Ponzi scheme. There are some of those out there, but as far as Bitcoin goes, like people don't look at it that way anymore. Now it's just like, okay, let me learn a little more about this. How do I get it? As opposed to, isn't it that fake invisible money that you know, it isn't real. Now people don't look at it that way anymore, you know, and it's every year it's getting closer and closer to it being like just a really accepted currency. And once that happens, I mean, there's only 21 million ever, and everybody's like, it's like I tell everyone, there's like 50 million millionaires. There's not even enough Bitcoin for all of them to have half of one. So that's a big statistic, right? Everybody's going to want one. Yeah. Everybody's going to want one Bitcoin at some point. And like if you're in this for the price evaluation, dude, I mean, just look at the finite amount of Bitcoin there is. It just makes sense that it's going to keep going up, you know?
Yeah. You know what? I'll be really keen to hear a song, because you've got very pointed, precise song for acronyms like BTFD, buy the effing dip. You've got stacking sats. But when you say something along the lines of how can you help your grandma or even your barber be able to get into Bitcoin, do you have a song that's in the back of your mind that says this is a song this is how you can buy Bitcoins? Or if you've got John McAfee, who's from a background of cybersecurity, that says this is a song that's going to be about cybersecurity, on how you can increase the cyber resiliency, so it's both informative, it's got a catchy beat to it.
Yeah, see, I think there's a real thin line too of making something that's good for everyone to listen to, and then being a little too informative and trying to be too much of a disclaimer video. So we always try to tread that line of it being really good music first, and learning through the music, as opposed to trying to teach somebody like a workshop and then putting a beat to it, right? So there's like a thin line there of like making it. We want it to be dope music first, and then get people involved that way.
Yeah, I think what it does is it gets you thinking at least about it, or like asking questions like, oh, what is stats? What is he talking about stacking stats, right? So you go search for it now, and then now you're going into this rabbit hole. So it's kind of like, you know, it's more of like a gateway for people to get into learning about cryptocurrency, instead of like actually teaching them through the music, which, I mean, once you're in the game for a little bit, you kind of understand, buy the dip, you know what I mean? That's what they mean. Like, I get it now. Or like panic selling, you know? So like things like that, once you've had some skin in the game, you kind of realize what we're trying to say, but at least it gets you to Google and start searching about it and asking questions, you know?
Yeah, we try to educate it in like the best way we think we can, you know, but we do have a YouTube channel, and we will be doing like tutorials and things like that to teach people in just a different format of how to do things, right? So like we don't just do music. We also have a vlog on there, and we're gonna start doing tutorials and things. So if people do want to learn, they can come to us. We also do it with Velas too. We're gonna be doing tutorials through Velas channel, and you know, just to teach people too, the people that do want to learn it. You know, maybe they hear a song of ours and they're like, well, let me learn a little more about this. We're gonna have that open for them too. So we're gonna be putting out all kinds of content for them.
All right, and in terms of the mind of a musician, let's say that somebody who's listening to this for the first time, they're trying to figure out where and how to start. They haven't discovered what their voice is, and still trying, and they're knocking their head on a lot of concrete slabs, and it's like, I'm stuck, I need help. What do you guys do to try and get out of that mental blockage?
Go home for a second, man. Just turn your brain off for a second and come back to it, dude. So it happens to everybody.
You can't force it. Yeah.
Mental blockages is a real thing. Sometimes the best things come quickly. Like a lot of our songs that do the best, we write in like an hour or something. Yeah. Right? So we'll just, I mean, chemistry's big. We vibe good together. We always kind of throw ideas at each other. We're not afraid to tell each other that something sucks. Yeah. If something's not good, we'll be like, hey, bro, that sucks. It's not good.
Whoa. All right, let's backtrack.
You gotta be real with yourself, and you know, it shouldn't take. You know, for us, sometimes it takes an hour, sometimes it takes a week to put a song out. You never know, right?
Just depends on, like we said, the vibe, how we feel, the mood. If we're fighting with our girls, like there's a lot. You know, if our kids are annoying us,
you gotta be in the right mindset. You gotta set yourself up to win, right? So you put yourself in the right positions to have the right mindset. Go somewhere by yourself if you need to. If you need to be around a bunch of people, everyone works differently, right? So whatever gets your creative juices flowing. And if it's not working right around, so maybe you got to restart the song or try something a little different. You know, sometimes you got to scratch a song if it's just not good enough, or you don't think it's good enough. Try to maybe erase it or come back to it a week later. You know, and you might have a fresh ear for it. And that's just a rule of thumb for all music. You know,
I think for any type of creativity.
Yeah, really. Any type of creativity.
Whether you're a writer, a painter, anything. You know what I mean? If you can't see it like you are in your head, and like it's not coming together, then you're just you know, beating a dead horse. So.
Yeah, you're hitting your head against the wall, like you said. You know, like it's you step away for a second. That's the best. That's the best advice I can give, and I've used that for my entire music career. Sometimes you got to step away from it forever because it might not be that good, bro.
On that topic, whilst I was preparing for this session, I managed to stumble onto a song and a movie behind that song. It's called "You Can Only Imagine," and it was about this singer who grew up in a very troubled childhood, and it took him 10 years just to write this one song that all of a sudden became a national hit. And I was like, okay, for somebody that took 10 years to write this one song, become a national hit, how does that one person experience potentially relate to Coinbros? Because you guys shared examples that seem to be a very quick fix or something that can be an immediate remedy. But without knowing a lot about the context of some of your songs, can you share maybe one or two songs that are particularly even more meaningful and even more impactful for you? Because just like that song, You Can Only Imagine, that took 10 years to make. Nobody really knows about that song's story and origins until you watch a movie about it. Out of all the songs, like thousands that you've made, is there a couple that you can share, like one or two, about the origins of how did you come up with that song, the challenges that you had to actually go through that journey of trying to make all these single things, bundle them together, and then all of a sudden get it out to the street? Like, what's the story from beginning to end that you can share?
Well, I mean, it depends, right? Like when you make music, it's one of those things where it's a lot of it's from experiences or just how you're feeling at the time. I made a song, and you know what's crazy is the ones that you like the most or mean the most to you is usually not the ones people care about, you know? Like it's something like, honestly, almost every song that has been my favorite out of the freaking thousands that I've done in my lifetime, like the ones I really I don't expect other people to like them as much because it's like, it's almost too deep sometimes, you know? It's like there's too much behind it.
Yeah, they don't really understand the concept.
Well, there's one song I made a song called Sharks Can Drown, and this was like, must have been like 7 years ago.
This was longer than that. Was like
maybe
8 years
maybe
ago.
like 8 years ago. And it's a song I put on I don't even know if I put on like a mixtape or something, but I was on a thing called Warp Tour, and this was about 4 years ago. I was on Warp Tour, and it's a tour that tours nationally around the entire US. It does like 48 shows in like 50 days. So you basically are just on like a gauntlet, dude. It's the craziest tour. They call it like the biggest tour in the world. So me and my brother and my DJ, who's also does a lot for Coinbros, we were on this bus tour, and then I put that song out so long ago, and I didn't think anybody like knew about it, right? And no one ever told us to play it at any shows. No one ever said anything about it. But I did a show in some weird city like Kansas City or something, and then we had a line after we did the show, and they're asking for autographs, and they have a line of kids, you know, and they line up and they get autographs after the show. And one kid came up and he was like, "Dude, I really wish you would have played Sharks Can Drown." And I was like, what? That's crazy. I was like, no one's ever freaking said that to me, right? And it's this kid in Kansas City that I never thought I'd play in Kansas City. I never would have played there if it wasn't for this tour. And he's like a 16, 17-year-old kid that was a fan. And he said like his brother passed away and it like helped him get him through it. And I'm thinking in my head, like, that's crazy, right? So this song that I like so much that I made had a lot of meaning to me. And then no one ever gave a damn about it, but then one kid in Kansas City comes up to me and says that. It's like that's all you do it for, right? You do it for that one kid that's like, dude, that song helped me get through something. And then you think about it, it's like the way that we have reach to the whole world now, especially through music, is like there's some kid in Kansas City listening to my stuff that I uploaded on, you know, Spotify or whatever, that it might have changed his life. And there might be another 100 kids that are feeling the same way that didn't get to come to my show and tell me that, right? So like whenever you put out music that you're passionate about, that's why you're doing it, right? You got to remember why you're doing it, right? You're putting it out because it means something, and then it might affect somebody else down the line. Could be 1 million people if you get a hit, or it could be 100 kids that you helped out. I mean, it's all the same, right? It's all why you do it. So that's just one story of like, I mean, usually the songs that you care the most about, they're not the hits, you know? It's usually the ones that like Stacking Sats where we just do it in an hour because we're having fun. And everybody gets to that place, right? And music's one of those things, man. You make songs if you're in a good mood just to make people happy or go to a club, and then you make some songs that are a little deeper that are meant for that kid out in Kansas City that might hear it one day. Yeah. So yeah, I think that's one story.
Thanks for sharing that one.
Yeah, man.
How about you, Jesse?
Well, I mean, I've only been doing the crypto rap stuff, so far I think it's touched a lot of people that have liked our music. So I mean, I haven't had anything stories like that happen yet, but I mean, I don't know.
Well, yeah, here's a good example, right? Jesse just started doing music with me like 3 years ago, right? And Jesse just got in the game. He always loved music, but he was never like a performer or an artist. And then he came on as the Coinbros, and the first song he ever did was BTFD. Yeah. So there's an example of somebody that never rapped or anything before, and he put out a song, and it's it got 200,000 plays in the first month, right? So there's a lot of different ways. I put in 10, 15 years of music.
His time helped me get my views.
Yeah, but Jesse's a natural at it, right? So sometimes you're just good at stuff, and then it works. So it's just two different backgrounds. Like we got together 3 years ago doing. So he's never done anything but crypto rap. That's what he's a straight crypto rap his whole life.
Yeah.
What do you think can complement you guys to reach to the next level? You're both rappers, but let's say if you had an electric guitarist or you had a DJ, or is there somebody that you guys might be looking for to complement your team?
A live show would be kind of cool. You know what I mean? Some like fog machines, fireworks, lights.
We did just do a conference. We did a conference in Turkey. In Turkey, we flew out with Bellas, and we came out and performed right before Alex Alexandrov went on and did a speech.
His song,
and we did a song, the Bellas song, and it was really cool, man. We didn't know what to expect, but everybody that was there was like really happy with it.
We had great feedback. Yeah,
they have smoke machines, big. What's crazy is like these conventions and stuff. They put a lot of money into the stages and stuff. And I'm thinking like they don't really ever bring out artists or anything. And that's what we were gonna do with Velas. Like we're gonna like start bringing some fun to the conferences, and like lively people up, because everyone likes the after parties and the outside of the conference, and then everyone's falling asleep inside when people are talking. So why not let's wake them up? Wake them up with some Coinbros.
Exactly.
Hit us up. Hey, conferences, hit us up if you want us, man.
Yeah, we'll be there.
We'll be there, dude. Whenever we start doing conferences,
whenever we can, I guess.
When we can have more than.
Yeah, I mean, I wish we can do more conferences.
We will. It'll get back. It'll get back.
I mean, it's not going to be the same for sure. There's a lot of things that have changed because of what's happening, but I'm sure it'll slowly, gradually get to a point where it's going to start seeming a little bit more normal,
Yeah.
Do you see your music evolving as well? Because it's always been very upbeat. Well, given the situation where everybody is down and everybody's stuck at home, would you say that there's now going to be not only an upbeat feel, but maybe a more inspirational tone? Or how have you seen the music evolving?
Well, I don't know, man. Maybe so. I don't know. We don't really think that far, bro. Just kind of like whatever we're feeling. Yeah. I mean, we're not. A lot of it is like in the crypto space, like there's not a huge realm of entertainment, right? There's not like this huge entertainment side of crypto, and I think that we were probably the only guys that are doing like more than one full original song. Like everything that we've put out, we have like over 10 songs. Plus we add videos. Like it's all original music, right? So it's like. I don't think there's anyone else really doing it. There's a lot of parody stuff out there. People who just take a popular song and they'll change the words and stuff. But we want to bring that element to it. We want to bring that side to the crypto space. Dude, crypto is money. That's what this is. You know what I mean? This is money. Like there's no reason why we can't bring a really big entertainment side to it. And eventually everyone's going to start doing it, man. You're going to start seeing a lot of big artists jumping on board. You already do hear about it in a lot of pop culture. You'll hear little tidbits of it in songs.
Of people talking about it.
Ain't nobody the Coinbros, but you know what I mean. They're trying to creep in there a little bit. They're trying to.
Ain't no Coinbros out there.
And we welcome them, dude. We want everyone to. We want this thing to grow, right?
Yeah.
So.
Earlier, Jesse mentioned that he was new into the space, but he was able to join with Howie and to really accelerate that time to get into this industry. If you had to ask any musician out there to like, hey, can we do the next song with you guys? Who would that be and why?
Oh man, that's a good question.
Wait, does it have to be like? Could it be anybody?
Could it be alive, dead? Like, does it have to be
anybody?
It could be someone dead.
Okay,
alive.
Well, it could be both, because ideally, if somebody listens to this, it's, hey, Coinbros just gave me a shout out. Okay, I got to figure out how to give them a call and connect with them.
That's a tough one, man. There's so many. There's so many out there, dude.
Well, I mean, if it's anyone alive now, I think that'd be on you, because you're the one that's been doing music longer. So whoever you'd want to vibe with, I'd vibe with anybody.
I mean, I was a huge like Eminem fan growing up. You know,
Can you imagine Eminem rapping about crypto?
Yeah, I could. He'd probably kill it. But I'm West Coast, man. You know, I grew up on Tupac and Eminem and
NWA,
Drake, all that stuff. So I'm a West Coast guy. So right now, someone like a Lil Wayne or like someone like that, Drake. Of course, cool. Drake, because he'd get us some money, bro. He'd get us some numbers coming in. Drake, hit me up, bro.
Yeah, check it out. If you're watching this, Drake, for some reason,
get in there. Man, yeah, dude. And then somebody that's passed away, someone dead that I think that would make sense. You know, let's see. Someone that's passed.
For me, Tupac.
Tupac, yeah, Tupac. I'd go with Sublime, man. I'm a huge Sublime fan.
Oh, that's pretty dope.
I was Sublime, you know, like Brad Noel from Sublime, man. I think he was a huge inspiration in music when I was growing up in Hawaii as a kid. Obviously, Bob Marley. You know, you got any of those guys, man. We'll turn them on to some crypto rap.
Yeah, we'll let them know what's up.
But man, we're down to work with
I just had something that I caught from you. You said that you guys were in Hawaii, but you're living in Vegas right now. Mm-hmm. What's the connection over there?
So he's El Salvadorian. He's married to my sister, my sister Tammy, and I was born and raised in Hawaii. My family was. So I'm actually I'm half Polynesian. I'm half Samoan and Hawaiian, and then my mother was white. My mother's from Canada. So we're mixed, but we were raised in Hawaii, my whole family. We moved out to Vegas. I started a business when I was about 17 years old, doing airbrushing. And I've been in Vegas ever since. And this is where my sister was a bartender, and she met Jesse like 11 years ago. Now they have 2 kids together, 2 beautiful little girls. Yeah. I got 2 boys. We live right down the road from each other. We've been friends ever since. And we're brothers, you know. We're brothers now, so that's pretty much how it went. But I've been in Las Vegas as long as I've been in Hawaii, so I guess I'm a Vegas raised. I'm a Hawaii born, Vegas raised.
Yeah, I'm definitely Vegas raised. I've been here like 24 years, so
we love it. We love Las Vegas, man. Las Vegas, you can get up at like 2 in the morning and you'll go get a
or you can get up at 4 in the morning and come do a
podcast. Man. And people don't think you're weird. There's cars everywhere. Yeah. I mean, the strip is it's strange because our studio we just got is like right on the strip, pretty much, and it's a ghost town. Yeah. It's the craziest thing. I've been here for over 15 years.
I've never seen it like this my entire life living in Las Vegas. It's so weird.
It's really strange, man. Yeah. And then there's like all the lights are down on the casinos, except for they'll leave a few little lights on just to like write a message or something. But it's a ghost town, man.
Scary, man.
It's weird. But I think on the 6th of June they're starting to open up casinos again. It's Memorial Day right now, which is in the U.S. a pretty big holiday for like veterans and stuff, and there's no one here. It's the first time in 15 years.
It's weird.
Usually it's like you can't move. It's like slam this weekend, and they don't have anybody here. So, yeah, it's a trip.
Wow. Well, that just probably means that when everything starts getting back to normal, people are going to go crazy. They can't stay at home any longer, and they're just going to start trying to get
it's already like that. Like, the people that live here, it's already like that, right? We're pretty much open all for business everywhere, but just the tourism, right? Like if the casinos are shut down, people aren't flying into Vegas.
No need.
They don't have any clubs open. There's no bars really open, but all just businesses, small businesses, restaurants, they're all open. So it's getting there. People are starting to get out of the house, and it's opening up. And I think by June, when they open the casinos, we'll see what happens. But I mean, I think for Vegas was actually in like the New York Times. They wrote it's like the central spot for the economic collapse in the U.S. because we are driven solely on entertainment, tourism, and we got hit the hardest, right? Because we need tourism in Las Vegas. The casinos are closed. That's about 80% of the people that live here work in some kind of casino industry, you know?
Yep.
And it's tough for everybody right now. I mean, we don't even really see it almost because we work in crypto and we're online and like it's business as usual for us.
Yeah, we're just working.
We work from home, you know what I mean? Like we work from home in our studio, so like it's weird for us when we go out and step outside and we see it because we're not really affected by it the same way.
Yeah, I have a lot of my friends too that like hit me up like itching to go back to work, and you know what I mean? They're just talking about how they've been out of work for 2 months or whatever, and they're hoping the casinos open back up. So
and I tell them, get into crypto, bro. What are you doing? Get into the crypto scene, man. Get out of that nonsense. Stop stacking up that fake money they're printing. Let's get some Bitcoin.
You guys are definitely pro Bitcoin and pro crypto. I mean, I'm really relieved to hear that you guys are not as badly as affected as what we're hearing from the media. But on a more positive note, when Vegas eventually opens up, there's this restaurant that I been dying to try out. It's called Heart Attack Grill. Have you guys been
dude.
there?
Dude,
What's your feedback?
Funny story, man, is my businesses I had when I was like 17 to like 28. I owned an airbrush company with my brother, and that's where it was. We were
Right
located in front of like right by that Heart Attack Grill, and then we had 2 kiosks there. And it's crazy, man. They actually give you a free, if you eat a certain amount of calories, it's free. It's pretty disgusting.
But it's a ridiculous amount, like
It's like
3,500 or 4,000 calories
So
you have to eat.
they're like trying to kill people, bro. Basically,
Yeah.
it's insane, man.
They're
People-
really trying to give people heart attacks.
It's-
and like I think it's like if you weigh a certain amount, you get a free meal. Like it's pretty ridiculous. But they're just like it's bad.
it's a gimmick, but people line up, man. It's a big spot. Yeah.
I think it was about if you weigh 400 pounds and you get it for free. I think I could try and eat like that much, like a normal Big Mac.
Man, American
But,
dude, we know how to indulge, bro. There's a lot of 400-pound people walking around.
Especially with burgers.
Well, hopefully when things start going back to normal, we can visit Vegas, or you guys can come over to Hong Kong or go to Macau, and things will get back to normal. We're approaching close to the hour, and I know that there's been some people that's been dropping in, dropping out, possibly because of the internet issues. But there's one familiar name that I'm sure that both of you are very familiar with.
Leo?
Of course, Leo.
What up, Leo?
What up, brother?
Leo.
Hey, how are you guys?
What's up, brother?
What's going on,
Good to hear
man?
from you, man. We had a pretty crazy night with Leo out there. I won't put too much out on the internet, but we had a fun time.
He gave us a good introduction into the Hong Kong streets.
Yeah, he showed us around, man.
Can't wait for you guys to be back.
Good, man. And you come out to Vegas, bro. We got you. We got you.
Damn, nice.
Hell yeah.
I do have a question too, about like crypto culture. Like, do you see that as a distinct subculture and like?
Bro, I think you just gave me a song idea, bro. Yeah, crypto culture. That's kind of cool.
No, crypto culture. Let's do it.
Yeah,
I think you're talking about crypto constantly.
Because I think you're one of the beacons of crypto culture, and I do very much think it exists. Like,
Thanks,
it has
man.
its own
Yeah,
slang,
I
has
think-
its own.
I think that's got a cool ass ring to it, man. I think we
Crypto
could start a good movement, like really get that moving. Yeah, crypto culture. This
There's
guy rolls off
good
the tongue. Right?
art, and
Mhm.
I'm always curious of like how it's developing and how it's perceived by the outside world, right? Like I wouldn't know how people who are not into crypto perceiving us.
Well,
It's
I
true,
think you're right, man. And I think it's growing, dude. Like I said, like people like my barber are talking about wanting to accept crypto and stuff. And there is something really kind of like fringe and cool about it, right? We're kind of like the outlaws of the fee of just the currency
Finance
game,
world,
the
yeah.
finance world, right? Where these guys that are kind of slowly creeping our way into being a big player. And there is something kind of cool about it. So we're the outcast. We're kind of the outcast, the
Yeah.
crypto people, and
Yeah.
people love that. People always want to be on the part of the underdog, kind of, you know? And I think crypto culture could be a real thing that starts really taking off. And I see it. I see people, and you look at us, when people get into it, man, you get addicted. You become kind of sick with it. Like, you don't hear people getting this obsessed with other things. Like,
Yeah.
man, the U.S. currency, fiat, and the fiat gang. Like, you don't hear anything like that. Yeah, you got like, I mean, you see people throwing dollar bills at strippers and stuff, but you don't get them engulfed like we are, you know, and like how we are in the crypto game. You got to be a little bit of a
some brands. Some brands also attract quite a cultish following.
Yeah.
There aren't too many like Apple Pay meetups or something, right?
Apple Pay meetup, bro. Yeah, man. The crypto culture is a real thing. You're right, and it is growing, and it's growing rapidly. And
I mean,
especially
look at Brian's like he has in front of him, he has all these little icons, right? And the moon man.
So I love the spaceman, man. I actually have like a picture. I found this at like a little secondhand store. I don't know why I wanted it, but now it makes sense because it's Bitcoin, right? So there's a spaceman guy who's on the moon and he's taking a piss looking at the Earth. And my girl was like, "Why did you want that photo?" I was like, "I don't know. I just really wanted it, but it makes sense now. That's me on the moon with Bitcoin."
Yeah, no, you know what I think it is, man? You're right, dude. I haven't even really thought about that much. You know, everybody wants to like claim their gang, dude. Like when you're like something, you rep it, right? You rep what you're passionate about.
Yeah.
And the people that are in crypto are freaking passionate about it. Because you got to be a little crazy, man. What up, man?
What up? What up, Bitcoin?
What's up, my dude?
Bitcoin gang.
There he is. I can see your face now, bro. Putting a face to that
Yeah,
voice.
sorry, I didn't even realize it was turned off.
But yeah, man, like crypto culture is a real thing, man. Yeah.
This is something I got in Hanoi a few months ago
In
from
Hawaii?
Eric Foster's conference. It's like
Oh,
a
that's dope.
Bitcoin
What is
grenade.
that?
You can 3D print it. You can like stick your treasure in it.
That's
Oh,
cool,
that's
man.
sick.
Pretty neat.
I'm sending my address, bro. You can ship me
How
one.
would you define crypto culture, though? Like, 10 years from now, when we say we want to be on the crypto culture, what are like a few elements of that? What would you say?
I don't know, man. I think honestly, just it's more of a movement right now. You know, it's like it's so new that I think, like you said, people are just choosing sides. They're just like finding these projects that they're getting involved with, and then they hone in and they're like, okay, my project's going to do the best. And I think in 10 years from now, when we see what's still out there, you know, that's going to be what the culture is.
Honestly, man, I think something that's going to drive this culture a lot is what's going on right now with things in, you know, around the world, right? You have the U.S. printing $1 billion every 10 seconds. You have all these things happening. You know, the American dollar starts deflating in value and stuff. People start realizing that there's this globalized currency here that is strong and it's powerful, and it has these people that believe in it, and all this adoption, and it's doing amazing things in the world. People are going to start following it, and you know, kids nowadays and young people, that's what we're trying to do. We use music to try to drive the youth and people into cryptocurrency in a way that we think is really powerful. Like, I think music drives everything. It drives the generations. It drives adoption into things. It's just in my mind, one of the best ways to do it. And that's the part of the culture we want to bring to the table, right? We want to try to start driving people into it that way. And then let people just kind of run wild with it, man. You start getting the youth behind it, and you start getting them understanding why they want to be a part of this. And this thing it's going to take off like crazy. Once you get young people involved, and people that, you know, it's not just a bunch of numbers, and it's the barrier gets knocked down a little bit of what cryptocurrency is and the roadblocks, and they start understanding it, which it's coming. You know, it's just inevitable. It's just when, not if. And it's going to be crazy. The culture is just going to explode.
We're going to see more crypto memorabilia, more
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's getting pretty good. Like, you had a good point, Leo, man. Like everyone I know that's really into crypto, we're a little crazy about it. We're like, our computers are covered with the stickers. Like, our girlfriends think we're insane at first. You know, like,
yeah. My friend's like, "Do you work?" And I'm like, "Yeah, this is my job. Make money."
Dude, my girl
flag around and like handing it out to like fellow believers. And
yeah.
A couple of like secret handshakes, right?
Yeah.
It's just from somebody saying the word fiat, you can already be like, hey, wait, that guy's probably like into Bitcoin or something.
Yeah.
It's true. I don't ever hear my friends talk about fiat like that. So.
Yeah.
I mean, fiat isn't really a word that came up before Bitcoin was around, right? There's no need to differentiate. Fiat is only used as like, there's Bitcoin, and how do we call the other thing?
Yeah.
If you only have fiat money, then you don't need to differentiate.
Yeah, let's call money the weakest vehicle out there. This tiny little weak car, fiat.
Well, that was a good joke, right? Like, why are crypto people so much into Lambos?
Yeah.
Because they're owned by fiat.
Yeah. That's good. Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah, didn't think about that. Crypto culture, man. That could be another song coming soon, bro. Brought to you by Leo. Inspiration right there. That's what we're talking about, Brian.
There you go, Brian.
That's inspiration right there.
How does it just happens, you know?
You get some guy pop in with a good ass one-liner. Turn into the next song, bro.
Do you think we can come up with sort of a beat right now for crypto culture?
Crypto culture.
I don't know.
Wasn't it? See, you gotta walk away when you got a bad beat.
It's gotta be trap. Gotta have that trap beat.
Yeah, I would honestly make something right now, but we don't have our stuff hooked up in the studio. Like, nothing's hooked up.
Yeah.
But I could make a beat on the fly, playa. Next time we're out there, dude. Next time we're out in Hong Kong, or you guys are in Vegas, we'll make a whole track together, man. We actually, it's so cool nowadays. You can actually bring your entire studio with you in a suitcase.
Yeah.
So like when we went out to Cayman Islands for with Velas to shoot that video, we actually made a whole song while we were in our Airbnb. Mm-hmm. We just set up our studio and made a song. It's pretty, like, the world's so easy to do things now, you know. Yep.
Yeah, just like last month when they had that World Health Organization where all the artists got together, it was all through video conference. all online. I'm wondering if this is a trend. You can connect with Drake via Zoom or whatever video conferencing platform and start making the next
Dude,
thing.
you know what's crazy is my DJ, B Genius, shout out B Genius, but he actually is a mixing engineer. He produces, he does it all through his Discord now. So you can actually send in, or you can record through your microphone. It goes into his computer, he edits it, he mixes it. You can hear it and watch it on the screen, and then he can have you a final mixed and mastered version of your music, send it to you, and do an entire virtual session. So you don't even have to leave your house to get a professionally mixed and mastered song anymore. It's insane, dude.
From scratch.
That's just him. He kind of just came up with this idea, you know, to mix it all in one, and it works perfectly. So you know, people when you're forced into a corner, like sometimes the greatest ideas come out of that, right? So I think there's going to be a lot of good that comes out of, and people are realizing, man, that like how good we had it before, you know, like. When you realize, dude, when I walk outside now to walk my dog, every neighbor that sees me is trying to stop me and talk to me because they're so sick of being inside their house, bro. Like, I'm like, dude, I've known you for freaking 5 years and you haven't said anything to me. And now you want to sit here and talk to me about baseball, you know? Like, it's just good. People are starting to realize, like, damn, we had it good, man. We should probably be nicer to each other. We should appreciate the time we have together. And so in some ways, the silver lining, I think it could make people a lot nicer and things a little better in the world.
We're more connected now.
Yeah,
for sure.
I think in the States it's working, but Leo, John, does that work here in Hong Kong? Do you feel like you're closer to your neighbors because of coronavirus, or it's kind of like you're kind of within arm's reach of me, so I need to be careful?
Yeah.
Yeah, but like in restaurants, people have a lot more time now for you, right? Like it's no longer as stressful here too. Like,
yeah.
It's not like I walk around and all my neighbors say hi to me, but if I sit down somewhere, like people have to take their time and not push me out right after I'm done eating.
Yeah, I guess it's a totally different vibe. Yeah, Hong Kong and Las Vegas. Vegas is pretty wide open and spread out. So like no one's on top of each other out here, you know. And honestly, we've had a pretty low rate of the actual virus here in out of all of the U.S.
Yeah.
We're like for the amount of people that live in Las Vegas, because we shut down quick. Like right when things were happening, they shut everything down. The casinos, and like it pretty much stopped everything. Like everything's, but like you have places on the East Coast that are a lot worse. So out here it's probably a little different. We're a little skewed, our vision of it probably. Yeah. But hopefully, man.
Good to know that you guys are safe.
Oh yeah, man. We just sit in the studio and make rap beats. That's all we do, man. We're the only people we're around is our family and me and him anyway.
Yeah.
We're never around anyone else anyway.
No. Sucks. No, I'm just kidding.
I got my kids jumping on me all day. That's it.
I got this guy bugging me all day.
Yeah.
Okay, can we have a tour of your studio, or is that still a secret?
Sure. It's just a tiny little spot. We actually just moved in here not even a week ago. So we have kids, and we're like, we need to have somewhere we can just get the hell away to make music and to just get away sometimes. So
let's give you guys the virtual tour here. It's my desk over there. You know,
okay, so we got
TV,
we got our music studio right here. So this is where all the magic happens.
Yeah.
Pretty simple, man. It's a basic little spot. We have our own private bathroom, which is nice. We just do work here.
Do you guys record on Ableton or Logic?
I use Logic, but we use Ableton too. I'm a Logic guy. I use Logic. We got the little soundproof in here, and then we're gonna probably paint the walls like a dark purple, for the bellows and stuff. And then simple, man. Cheap too, man. We actually found this spot. We get this place for like with electricity. We get AC. We have free internet and everything. It's like $500 a month.
Which is not that much here.
We good.
That's crazy cheap. That's crazy cheap. You can't rent anything for that in Hong Kong.
Dude, honestly, we might put a bed in here so if we fight with our girls, we can just come and sleep here.
Dude, how much does that space in Hong Kong be? Like what, 2 G's?
Yeah, easy.
Really?
Damn.
Yeah. Well, Vegas is pretty cheap, man. Like we are, like housing, it's going down now a lot too. Like I'm actually moving into a house here in the next like month, and it's about $1,800, and it's just a huge house, man. I'm just tripping. I'm from Hawaii, so I know what it's like to be.
Wait, did you say $1,800 for a house?
Yeah, no, it's like a 4-bedroom huge house with like
25 square foot home.
Yeah, like it's nice, man. Like my dog will have plenty of room to run around. Vegas there's a lot of good, but then at the same time, it's about going to be 107 degrees here in a couple days. So that virus ain't got no chance, bro. We can't even live there. Ain't no virus going to live in 120 degree weather. I wrote a tweet like, come on, bro. Come on, Corona. Let's see what you got, bro. It's going to be 120 soon. Let me see what you can live through.
Hey, man, when it's 100 degrees outside at like 2 in the morning, there's no way that thing is living. You know what I mean?
I've got a question for you guys about the Bitcoin and the music space. So are you seeing people starting to actually transact as far as like paying for like mastering or paying for like beats and stuff like that using like Bitcoin and cryptos as a payment method?
You know what, man? It's crazy because dude, like, I mean, not so much on like the major scale level, but as far as like in-house engineers, producers, all the people I know that are in the music scene, like usually they're on computers all day, man. Like they get it, you know. It's a lot easier for them to make that transition. And I have, for instance, my producer, my DJ, B Genius, dude, he would much rather take Bitcoin than cash. Like he asked for that anytime like there's any payment, he wants it in Bitcoin. Dude, I'm starting to see it a lot more, and I think within the next few years, you know, you got to remember too, man. Musicians get screwed over a lot. Like we get screwed over in a lot of different ways when it comes to royalties, when it comes to streams, when it comes to your content being put out, and the things that cryptocurrency and Bitcoin can do for the everyday like artist that's just trying to come up. It gives you a lot of freedom. You know, it gives you a lot of freedom that doesn't come in other ways. So I think within the next few years, musicians are going to definitely want to be moving.
What about on the technology side of things? Are you seeing like anyone building any sort of like music applications on the blockchain or anything like that? Or even like a payment system for music on the blockchain?
Hey, man. Yeah. I mean, Vella's the company we're working with right now. They're going to be doing a lot of things in the music space, in the YouTube space, as far as like decentralized YouTube, streaming. The one thing that it's tough, right? Because in the music industry, there's a lot of strangleholds on things. You have things like streaming sites, and you have when it comes to musicians, man, like most of them, they'll do it for free. They love it so much. They're passionate about it. And it's almost more important for them to be heard than to make money most of the time, especially when you're coming up. So you kind of take the back seat on getting paid, and labels and stuff. They screw over a lot of the up and coming artists because artists just want to do art. You know, like we'll do it for nothing. And everybody coming up has been through it. So yeah, man, I think it is going to start changing over to
or something will happen where there will be a platform to help.
There will be. There's definitely a lot of people working on it, but it's just getting past those giants that are in the way, right? Like for people to actually start moving their music over to blockchain is going to be a tough move when you have things like Spotify and places to be heard, right? Because that's the most important thing for a musician is being heard. And once somebody figures out a way to make that possible, and for them for it to be profitable, it's coming. I mean, it's definitely in the works, and I think there's definitely some companies. I don't know any companies offhand that are like doing it right yet, that are doing it correctly, just in the music scene. But they've been trying. There's been some blockchain companies that have tried. It's just it's a tall feat, man. When you got Spotify's and the Spotify's of the world, the Apple Musics of the world, it's just because people will. If you tell a musician, look, you can have 1 million plays or make $10,000, they're probably going to take the 1 million plays than the $10,000 usually. You know, that's just my sense.
What can we do here in Hong Kong, or keep an eye out for you guys? Like, what? So this is a question for Coinbros. So what can the participants here in Hong Kong keep an eye out for you guys?
I mean, we're constantly on YouTube. We upload every music video we do up on YouTube. We're on Twitter a lot. I'm not sure if you guys in Hong Kong
use their Twitter.
They have Twitter. Because we talk to them on Twitter.
So
we're on Twitter a lot. We've been really trying to push our Twitter a lot, just because it's a good place for us to get like micro content out all the time. And then YouTube, obviously, that's where we upload everything.
Have you guys thought about creating anything yourself, as far as putting out a platform where, you know, it might not get the reach that you're looking for, but at least it's kind of like a beacon that it can be done?
I think we will, man. With the Vella's blockchain, you can build dApps and things on the blockchain when it's ready to be rolled out and everything. And we were definitely going to do something to do with music on the Vella's blockchain.
Awesome.
But we'll definitely let you guys know. You know, Brian and Leo, they'll be the first to know we do anything, but we definitely want to work in the scene, man. We want to do everything we can to bring music to crypto, and you know, what better way, right? Than having some kind of DApp or something that helps musicians transition, make more money, you know, all that, dude. We're here to try to help musicians and crypto. That's our thing.
That's what's
So
up.
yeah, stay on the lookout, man. We'll definitely be releasing some stuff on the Velas blockchain.
Great. Does Leo, John, do you have any more questions for these guys, or?
No, not really. It's been awesome hearing from you guys.
Yeah, man. Thank you guys so much for having us, dude. It's awesome, man. You actually helped us out because our day has started now. It's almost 6 in the morning. We can't go back to sleep, so we're just gonna work.
We can go eat some food, get some coffee, and
we're gonna get that crypto culture song going, Leo. You got us motivated.
Thanks for making the time. Very closely following what you guys are up to.
Oh, sorry, what was that? Sorry, I missed it.
Thanks for making the time. Very closely following what you guys are up to.
Yeah, thanks, man. Anything you need from us, you know, just reach out, and dude, we're always
do our best.
Do our best, bro. Let's go party together again.
Thank you.
Yeah, you gotta get out to Vegas.
Do you think we could take a screenshot together with your cool Velas background?
Yeah. Here, let's turn it back on.
John, you want to be part of this as well?
Oh, sure. I'll hop in.
Get in, John.
What's up, John?
Which camera do we look at? This one or that one?
That one, or this one, yeah.
Okay. Hang on. I'm taking the screenshot now. All right.
Nice.
All right.
Great.
Thank you guys so much.
Yeah, man. You the man, bro. Thank you guys.
Yeah, it was fun. It was a pleasure.
We're gonna go eat some breakfast.
We're gonna go eat some.
Take care, guys. Keep up the good work, man.
Yeah, thank you, man. Appreciate it.
Hopefully Drake listens to this.
Drake, where you at, Drake? Come on. What you doing, bro? You slacking, Drake?
Get up in the studio with us, Drizzy.
Cool, man.
All right, guys.
All right.
Take care.
Bye.
Thank you.